New information tonight about that dramatic crash and messy cleanup on the Trans-Canada Highway near Thetis Lake that snarled traffic for hours yesterday. Both the company whose septic tanker went out of control and spilled and the Environment Ministry say it could have been much worse. The sewage that flowed out of the truck had been treated already, and as CTV's Stephanie Sherlock reports now, there was a lot less of it than first feared.
It could have been an environmental disaster.
Nobody knows, your guess is as good as mine, what people flush down their toilets nowadays and what ends up in our sewer system and in our water. So as a precautionary measure, that's why we called out the CRD hazmat team.
The septic truck spewing unknown amounts of effluent on the Trans-Canada Highway after going out of control and crashing.
When we arrived, there was still raw sewage pumping out of the truck.
Coast Environmental's Dan Lazaro was at the scene and led the cleanup. That fact alone was enough to reassure the Environment Ministry.
There were competent responders on scene. The company involved is also a company that does a lot of this cleanup, so we knew the expertise and the people that were involved.
So much so that they didn't even attend the scene.
In this case, it was confined to the roadway and cleaned up. So in this case, it wasn't interacting with, exposure to people or environmental receptors that we were concerned about.
Tonight, Lazaro called CTV News to set the record straight, specifically that the spill was contained on the asphalt, meaning minimal risk to the environment.
It didn't really leave the highway edge, didn't get into there's no creeks or ditching or anything there, pooled up on a paved area. We vacuum it all out, wash it all down, and open the highway back up.
Fortunately, environment and hazardous waste cleanup is a big part of what Coast Environmental does. Were it someone else's truck involved, emergency crews would have likely called them.
Obviously, what involves an accident from our perspective, the most important things from us are securing that everybody's okay, how to respond to the spill properly with all the other parties, make sure everything's handled, the way it's supposed to be.
Coast Environmental is beginning its own investigation into the accident. Lazaro says the driver has been with them for nearly 5 years and has a clean driving record, and by all accounts, a guardian angel.
The driver of the vehicle miraculously was outside the vehicle when we arrived. We're still trying to figure out how he lived, given the damage to the vehicle. It's just an absolute miracle he's still alive.
Stephanie Sherlock, CTV News, View Royal.